Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, September 12th, 2019. All right, so today we have the moon shifting into progressive Aquarius. The theme likely today around the future, maybe thinking about the future or wanting to cultivate our future ideals. This could be, of course, for ourselves, but also for the community or the world at large. And just really good to get into this progressive, forward-thinking, and even eccentric side of ourselves with the moon here. So we are approaching a full moon on Friday and Saturday, which will be in Pisces and somewhat close to Aquarius. So as we approach tomorrow, there is this more heightened energy of the lunar cycle, maybe building some momentum, maybe starting to gain some insights that will be the strongest over the weekend. And today we do have Mars squaring up to Jupiter, so there could be maybe some confidence, some ambition, some inspiration we can use, but it might be a bit of an over-under extreme with it, so it could be a little bit unstable. So good to channel that in constructive ways. And Mercury and Venus are very close as well, so maybe learning some new things we could be enjoying, maybe just enjoying learning and communication, and maybe thinking more about relationships and relating with others. So let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the sky for this Thursday. Let's go ahead and take a look first at the moon's placement, which represents the theme of the day. The moon in progressive Aquarius places themes on this future-oriented side of ourself and also very eccentric side of ourself. So Aquarius is all about challenging the status quo, challenging our own status quo in the sense that how can we induce some healthy change in our life to have a little bit more freedom and freedom of self-expression, and then also the collective status quo, maybe thinking about what can be changed for the future, both for maybe our own network circles or maybe the world at large, that we can't get into this progressive side to induce some of this change with self and the world at this time. So with this theme, we still do have a lot of emphasis in Leo and Virgo at the moment. The Sun and Mars still in Leo, still great to be expressing ourselves, having a bit of fun, playfulness, directness there with self-expression. And also, since this week, we've had a bit of a shift into a little bit more earth energy of Virgo, where it's a good time of maybe thinking about how things can be improved, refined, detailed, maybe in those relationships as well with Venus. And we are approaching a full moon, which will be tomorrow and Saturday. So we are starting to come into some maybe insights that will gain more so over the weekend. There is more of this heightened energy of the lunar cycle and maybe starting to do a status check at this time because there will likely be some shifts and pivots along our life journey during the full moon. So it's going to be a watery full moon though with all this Pisces and Neptune energy. I'll make a separate video on that, of course, tomorrow. But yeah, there is, even though it's the heightened part of the cycle, it is maybe good to start to get into that receptive side of ourselves and find more peace and tranquility in our life because that'll be, I think, a large theme with the full moon. But today we do have a bit of pendulum swing with fire energy. We have Mars squaring up to Jupiter. So in this case, today we may be feeling at times maybe confident, ambitious, maybe inspired, but then at other times maybe not so much, or maybe it's just a little bit unstable in how we're going about that. Maybe an over extreme of the confidence or ambition, or maybe under extreme with it. So Jupiter tends to over and under inflate things, and in this case with Mars, our drive and ambition and directness. So it is great to channel this though in very constructive ways. What are some things that you do have some opportunities with this week that you can put some action and initiative towards? What are some things that maybe require some action and confidence on your part that you might want to challenge yourself towards to integrate? If we are conscious and mindful of it and we are constructive with it, this can be an excellent part of the week for anything that does require potentials and possibilities, as well as maybe some of that action and initiative with Mars. All right, so along with this, as we get into tomorrow, Mercury and Venus are getting very close to each other. They're going to conjoin tomorrow, and this is going to be in grounded Virgo. So we could be maybe just noticing a little bit more that we're enjoying some conversations, maybe enjoying some communication, maybe enjoying reading or writing, anything on that mental sphere. And maybe in those relationships as well could be the case. Maybe just thinking a little bit more about relationships, or again, having a bit of that air energy of communication and stuff in them. And especially if it's about improvement or refinement or the details, or maybe our work and service, right? It's more grounded stuff. That could be the theme with this conjunction in Virgo. But that'll be mostly emphasized tomorrow. Just something to kind of be aware of today, that there can be a bit of this sort of enjoyment of that communicative and mental stuff going into the weekend. All right, so that's the day in a nutshell. Most important thing is Mars square Jupiter. Great day for channeling that in to drives and ambitions and inspirations with conscious awareness, with intention, and in that grounded sort of way. And the full moon coming up here tomorrow and Saturday gives us this momentum, this heightened part of the lunar cycle, although again, it will be quite watery, and it might be good to get into some of that water energy today. But the theme of the day is around air of Aquarius, of how can we get into this progressive side of ourselves, future-oriented and eccentric side of ourselves, so that we can, again, induce change both in our personal life and perhaps collectively as well. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next daily video. Take care.